Good evening, this is Tyrone Holmes, the founder and CEO of the Minister of Fidelis. We want to welcome you back to another power-packed broadcast of the Trauma Network for Men. Praise be to God. Brother Dwight, good to have you, man. Brother Josh, what's going on, brother? Good to have you, man. It's so good to be back with y'all again. We missed out last week due to unforeseen circumstances that things had to be taken care of, but we're glad to be back with you again on this evening. We are so glad that you tuned back in to the Trauma Network. We have been getting some rave reviews. People have been watching. It's just been powerful, man. We talk about this on our we get together every Tuesday to review our broadcast and what we're going to do. Not only, even though we have notes here, but we try not to go always by the notes. We let God lead us and direct our spirits as we talk. And we were just talking about that, Brother Dwight and Brother Josh, when you're talking about preaching. It's not good for a pastor or a leader to preach the same sermon over and over again. Right. Because if the Spirit is not directing you, then you're doing it within yourself. And whenever God is leading you, it's something always gonna come out different. Right. Always. Because that's how He does. Because we don't know when the Spirit moves and when Spirit goes. Right. So as we along and on this broadcast especially, when God is moving, we don't know how He's going to. He may change certain things, and a revelation may come to us. Right. Bam! Well, I didn't think about it that way. Sometimes you say some things on the broadcast. Brother John says some things. I have something to say some things to make the broadcast that even more relevant for the viewers to see it. So we thank you. Don't think that we just hear this reading like this. We're not doing that. We use this as a guideline. I try to prepare the broadcast for us to come to deliver it to you, but we don't know how it's going to end out. But we always try to stick within the guidelines so God can use us. You know, because the scriptures tells us, study to show thyself approved. Right. A workman need not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. So that means you got to be prepared. Don't just think you just gonna come and we're gonna come and do it. It don't work that way. I have to prepare myself over 3 or 4 days, sometimes 5 days. I have to meditate and see what. And I just told y'all, I don't know what next week's gonna be until maybe Sunday. I don't know. Right. I'm just asking God, give me something. I don't know. So that's what it is. We thank you for tuning back in on YouTube, on Facebook. Wherever you listen to us on your tablet, your smartphone or your computer, we thank you so much for being back with us again. We know this is going to be a powerful broadcast tonight because we have all heard these things that we're going to talk about tonight. All of us. You're not only female, but especially men, because we're good for doing stuff like that. So we're going to get Brother Dwight to lead us with our scripture, and then we're going to get right into the lesson for this evening. Because watch out, you're going to get knocked off your feet. Right. Man.
The first set of scriptures will be come from Genesis chapter 3, starting with verse 11, and the scripture says as follows. And he said, who told thee that thou wast naked? This is the prayer wrong.
We just talked about that, see that? We just talked about that. Did we just say that?
Right.
Just for the broadcast, we talked about Adam. You talked about the excuse in the prayer.
Right.
Same thing.
Line it up.
Line it up.
Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? And the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me the tree. And I did eat.
Good God from Zion.
And the man and the Lord God said unto the woman, what is this thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. Wow.
Yes,
so this is about to be powerful.
Wow.
The second set of scripture will come from Exodus chapter 4. Start with verse 10. And the scripture says as follows. And Moses said unto the Lord, O my Lord, I am not adequate, neither here therefore, nor since thou hast spoken unto thy servant, but I am slow of speech, and of a slow tongue. And the Lord said unto Moses, and the Lord said unto him, who hath made man's mouth? Or who makes the dumb, or deaf, or the seeing, or the blind? Have not I the Lord? Now therefore go, and I will be with thy mouth, and teach thee what thou shalt say. And he said, O my Lord, send, I pray thee, by the hand of him whom thou wilt send. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Moses, and he said, is not Aaron and Levi thy brother? I know that he can speak well, and also behold, he comes forth to meet thee, and when he sees thee, he would be glad in his heart. That's right there.
All right, we ain't got to go no further, bro. In those two scriptures right there that we just talked about, he just talked about, What are we dealing? What was going on with Adam?
Excuses.
An excuse about what? What was going on in the scripture?
Because he were taking the forbidden fruit that Eve gave him.
Okay.
And he said, Eve tricked him. And Adam did it because he said he made an excuse that she tempted him. But he made a choice to eat the fruit anyway.
That's right, Brother White.
Adam.
Good God.
Like Josh said, he made an excuse.
Yes, made an excuse.
He made an excuse because he was exposed.
Yes.
And he blamed it on somebody else. And so just as men, when we do something, we're quick to blame somebody else.
Yes, absolutely.
I ain't do that. That won't be.
And so he didn't accept it. So he blamed it on a woman.
That's right.
And a woman blamed it on somebody else.
That's right.
So it was just a chain of like.
That's right.
Excuses.
That's right.
Playing the blame game.
Playing the blame game. So this leads into our broadcast, everyone. Our message for tonight: excuses. No one wants to hear them from a man. And why do men make them, and how does it affect his life? Excuses. Excuses is a very powerful thing that can control our lives and destroy us as men if we do not face responsibility.
Right.
And step up to the plate and say, if I don't know something, I don't know. Or what we do with the excuse, we'll make the excuse, but then just like Job, just like Adam did, he passed the blame off on somebody else.
Right.
I did this because what's the name made me do it. No, that's an excuse. We as men, we have to learn how to take responsibility for ourselves.
I was just about to say that, brother.
Right.
As a man, you're responsible for your own life.
That's right, you are. That's right.
If you continue going on in life making an excuse, you ain't gonna be nobody.
That's right. That's right.
Because everybody that you talk to think you a liar.
That's right. That's right.
Because you blaming everybody else.
That's
You take
right.
responsibility for your own.
That's
life.
right.
And it flowed as the head of the house. Because Adam was the head. It flowed down.
That's right. It goes down. That's
so by him making an excuse, his spirit went to Eve.
There you go.
Then
there you go.
It went to Eve, of course, it went on and went on.
It trickles down. And that happens. And that happens a lot in the family thing.
Right.
If there's a man or a woman in that household who's always making excuses, 9 times out of 10, it's a man. And it flows down to the wife and it going to the children. And that's the generational curse there.
Right.
Because that man, 9 times out of 10, if that man is not brought up in a family where there's no foundation, he's going to use an excuse why he's not succeeding in life.
Right.
And you see that on the street every single day.
Right.
Well, my mother did this. I ain't never had no family. I ain't got that.
Like I said, you got to take responsibility for yourself.
That's an excuse.
Just like last time.
Yeah.
It's probably not your fault.
Yeah.
Or you're not responsible for your condition.
That's right.
But then it's your responsibility.
It's your responsibility to change. That's right. That's right. All right. Let's get on into it, brother Dwight. Lead us first with the life of endless excuses and what are excuses, and then Brother Josh, we're going to go with the reasons we make excuses. Let's get into this. It's going to be real good tonight.
A life of endless excuses.
Yes.
He that is good for making excuses is seldom good for anything else.
Wow.
Benjamin Franklin.
Good God, I'm sorry.
Do you ever catch yourself making excuses when things don't turn out as you had expected?
Yes.
Have you ever neglected taking responsibility for the events and the circumstances of your life?
Yes.
Or have you ever tried to explain away why you didn't, couldn't, or shouldn't, or simply wouldn't do something?
That's right.
These are all subtle signs that indicate you are living a life of excuses.
That's right.
Which prevent you from living in your full potential.
Oh, powerful.
What are excuses? Excuses are rationalization we make to ourselves about people, events, and circumstances.
Yes.
They are invented reasons. Good God Almighty. They are invented reasons we create to defend our behavior, to neglect taking a particular kind of action, or simply as a means of negating responsibility.
Yes.
Excuses are in essence a means of placing blame of an internal problem on an external condition.
Talk to me, Brother Dwight. That's some powerful stuff right there. Right. You said a mouthful right there. So the thing we need to pinpoint in on here, I think the key thing is, first, when you make excuses, it takes away from you learning or building or fulfilling your full potential.
Right.
It holds you back because what it is it's just like if you put a chain around your neck and put a brick on it and you toss yourself in the water, what's going to happen? The brick will pull you down.
You're gonna sink.
You're going to sink. Same thing with excuses. Excuses pull you down.
Right.
So if you always have that weight on your shoulder of making excuses for things that you say is not happening in your life, you will never rise. You will always sink down, and you will always be trying to make excuses.
You're not trying to break that chain.
You're not gonna break the chain, sir.
Right.
Go ahead, brother.
I'm gonna put out two powerful statements. It's in a sentence. It says excuses. What are excuses? And one it said they are invented reasons. Reasons we create to defend our behavior.
That's correct.
To neglect taking a particular kind of action.
Yes.
Another one says excuses are in an essence a means of placing blame of an internal problem on an external condition. So like a person committing a crime.
Yes.
But they saying it says it's mean blaming of an internal problem. So you probably have a problem with dealing with rejection.
Yeah, could be. Yes.
And so what you do with by you being rejected, you will say, well, this person provoked me to shoot this.
Exactly.
So you point the finger, making an excuse from what you're really dealing with.
To rationalize your actions.
On the external condition. But inside, you have some issues that you're dealing with.
Yeah. And I'm glad you said it, because we as men, we have a lot of internal issues going on.
Right.
Pride is one of them.
Right.
Fear is another one.
Right.
Like you said, rejection is another one. Not being able to recognize that we're not good communicators, that's an internal problem, because we don't know how to communicate. So all these things tie together, and what happens is if we're not able to operate in those areas where we are weak at, then that excuse is going to be our mask to cover up our weaknesses and our shortcomings. So we'll use those excuses to. Have you ever noticed a person that always use a curse word in their vocabulary? Every other word is a curse word.
Right.
Why is that? Because they got a limited vocabulary.
Limited.
They
don't know no words.
They don't know no words. So they have to use that to express themselves. So what that means, that's an excuse for you not being intelligent enough, or you haven't put yourself in a position to sit down and learn how to read a book.
Right.
Or you too embarrassed to say, well, I don't know how to read and write.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Those are excuses. There's no one in this world today that should be in a position where they can't read or write or be able to be computer literate. No reason why at all.
But there's tons of people who don't.
They don't, because they are embarrassed.
Yep.
They're embarrassed. And usually it's men. Exactly. You know? All right. Brother Josh, lead us.
Reasons we make excuses.
Good God from Zion.
There are many reasons why people make excuses. In fact, everyone has different reasons for making them.
Yes.
However, when it boils down to it, we only make excuses for the following main reasons.
Okay, talk to me.
Fear of failure.
Oh my God.
Fear of embarrassment. Fear of success.
All right.
Fear of change.
Yes.
Fear of uncertainty.
All right.
This is a big one right here. Fear of responsibility.
Yes.
Fear of making mistakes. Perceived lack of confidence or resources.
Okay, deal with a couple of those for me, Brother Josh, and tell me something about those things, about why we make these excuses.
Well, number one, for the fear of success.
Okay.
We hold ourselves back from our full potential.
Okay.
Because we're making an excuse that, I don't want to do all the work that's involved in making it big. You know, like you got to set little goals, and then you got to achieve them little by little.
Absolutely.
Like you say, Rome wasn't built in a day.
That's right.
So you're not going to be successful in a day.
So it takes time. We talked about this on Tuesday night. It's a process. You know, everybody, like I said before, everybody wants to get to the pot of gold in the rainbow, but nobody wants to go to the process and learn the things that you need to learn while you get to that pot of gold. So that's a very good point, Brother Josh. I like what you did, the analogy there, because you got to make small goals.
Yep.
You got to make small sacrifices to get to that goal. See, then when you do that, then you don't have to make the excuses. Don't make a big old goal that you make it so big that it seems unachievable. Make small goals and small steps towards your goal. And then when you get to that first one, oh man, I did that. I can't believe it. Brother Josh, perfect example. I said when you first started school, you thought, man, I can't do that. Too much hard work. But you're doing it. Small goals. Same thing with you, Brother Dwight. When you was going through school and doing GED, all those other stuff you was doing, small steps toward your goal. This didn't happen. Your life didn't change overnight.
Right.
It was a process.
Right.
It took time. But look where you at. Go back 3-4 years. Now look at now.
Right.
Big difference there.
Right. Yeah.
It's a process.
Another one that really hits home on why we make excuses.
Okay.
Is fear of embarrassment.
Wow.
Because as a man, we don't like to be embarrassed. Because when we get embarrassed, it damages our pride.
There you go.
And without our pride, we ain't no man.
Absolutely.
So we don't want to put ourselves in situations that's going to embarrass us.
That's correct.
Because once you hit the pride, we coming out fighting.
That's right. Absolutely.
We coming out with guns blazing.
That's right. That's right.
Because all the man got is his pride. When we take his pride, it's like taking off the mask.
That's right. And didn't like Brother Dwight said earlier about being exposed.
Yep.
Right. And we as men do not want the cover to be taken off of us and let the real world see who we really are. Right. Because when they really see us, then we can't hide anymore.
Nope.
Right. Adam started hiding in the garden. Right?
He started to hide.
Yeah.
After he was exposed.
After he was exposed. You can't hide then.
Right.
It's over. But that's what we do. We try to hide from behind everybody else so we can cover up our shortcomings, and then we don't want the world to know that we want everybody to see that we're strong and we got everything in control.
Yeah, we can have.
And 9 times out of 10, what we do, we hide behind the woman.
Right. Or shift the responsibility.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Absolutely. Don't I go out there and pay the bill? You're supposed to take care of all this.
Right.
Women know your job is to lead, protect, and provide.
Right.
She will do the following to assist you.
Right.
Brother Dwight, give us a couple of those that you feel that's important, personally.
Well, you had a fear of failure.
Okay.
You can talk from 2 points. Either a man can be feared of failing because either he always heard that it was a failure.
Yes.
Or either he attempted different things and failed.
Yes.
And so by him not having a foundation, he wasn't able to get up.
That's right.
And it says a righteous man falls 7 times and gets back up.
That's
if
right.
a person don't understand that a righteous man falls 7 times and get back up, then the first time that person fall, they're gonna be hard on themselves.
That's right.
Absolutely. And so they fear of failing, so they don't attempt.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna do this because I might fail.
Yeah.
Or I might go do this but I might fail. So it's like they depend more on the possibility of failing than the possibility of succeeding.
Yeah. Praise be to God. That's powerful. All right.
The fear of change.
All right. That's huge.
We are comfortable where we are. And anything that comes against to get us uncomfortable. And a lot of times when things that make us uncomfortable when change takes place.
That's right.
And we don't like when change comes.
We don't like that because we don't have no control over it.
So change make, like you just said, change make us not in control of the situation.
That's right.
And you can't.
That's right.
Control change.
That's right.
That's why the change is always uncomfortable.
That's right. Absolutely.
Then you got the fear of uncertainty.
Yes.
A lot of men, as men, we like to know everything. And if we are uncertain, if we are uncertain about something, we're not going to do it.
That's right. Absolutely.
So that's another fear.
That's right.
Not knowing.
Not knowing. That's right. Powerful, man. Powerful. All right, I'm going to read the next one here. To eliminate excuses from our lives, we must first look at eliminating all traces of fear. That's what we talked about, a couple of months ago on a broadcast about fear. Very, very important. We as men, and it goes through not knowing what's going to happen when we don't have control over a certain situation, the uncertainty, what you just said, failure, it's all a part of the fear factor. And we as men, we put ourselves in a position where if we don't have control, then it scares us.
Right.
Because we want to show people, I got everything in control, I'm the man.
Right.
And then we don't have that, we lose it, and then we don't know what to do. So then what we do, we revert back to being in that shell. We won't talk to nobody, we'll be secluded, we just won't talk because
that's when the thoughts of suicide and stuff.
Well, that's true when we get into that point. If depression comes down and we get down that far, you'll get that way. But initially, the fear factor, we'll back up from it because of the uncertainty. And we don't want to deal with that. So when you're facing these problems, that's when communication comes in, very, very important. When you're able to talk about what's going on to another brother and say, well, I'm not sure about this, what should I do? And that's the problem we as men have, because we won't express our feeling to another man because we don't know, we think that
you're a sissy, you're a punk.
There you go.
Suck it up.
There it is. There it is. And then we feel looked down upon, and then our pride is hurt, then we want to fight.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that fear is very important. First, fear traps, it says, locks us away within our comfort zone, which you just said, Brother Dwight. Yet fear often is developed as a result of a lack of understanding. Right. We just talked about this a minute ago. I just said that.